Hey guys, Vinith here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel VDiaries. Now, dual camera setup has become a mandatory thing even for the budget smartphone nowadays. Huawei is one of those companies to attempt the dual camera experiment in its early stages. Their newest budget offering, the Honor 7X, has been there in the market for more than 4 months and it's still going strong. And Xiaomi, on the other hand, has finally come up with a dual camera setup for their famous Note series with their newest and hottest launch, the Redmi Note 5 Pro. We will be looking at their camera outputs to see which one is the better bang for your money. Now, before jumping into the camera specs, if this is your first time on my channel, then don't forget to subscribe for more cool tech and travel content. The dual camera setup on Redmi Note 5 Pro consists of 12 megapixel primary sensor with f2.2 aperture and 1.25 micron pixel size. The 5 megapixel secondary sensor comes with f2 aperture and 1.12 micron pixel size. The secondary lens is used to capture the depth information for the portraits. If you cover the secondary lens with your finger, then the output doesn't really has any depth, so you can be rest assured that the mechanism is working as expected. Since the secondary lens is used internally, you cannot use either of the lenses at your will. The rear mechanism can record videos up to 1080p at 30 frames per second, and it has electronic stabilization. It is supported with single tone dual LED flash. Auto HDR mode is not available for the rear camera, but surprisingly it is present for the selfie camera, which is a massive 20 megapixel sensor with f2.2 aperture. It has 1 micron pixel size and it also comes with a dedicated flash which you can use to click photos or even shoot videos in darker places. The selfie camera also supports portrait mode that is managed using the software because it doesn't have a secondary lens, but this can really help you increase your selfie game. Looking at the dual camera setup on the Honor 7X, it has a 16 megapixel primary sensor and a 2 megapixel secondary sensor. The secondary sensor on Honor 7X serves the same purpose, that is to capture the depth information. The aperture and other information related to the sensors is not released by the company. In Honor 7X also, you cannot use either of the lenses at your will. The dual sensors are supported with single LED flash. It can record videos up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. For the record, it does not have any kind of stabilization. The front-facing camera on Honor 7X consists of 8 megapixel sensor and the light for the selfies is provided using the screen flash. Xiaomi has done some changes to the traditional MIUI camera app to match the iOS style. You can switch between various shooting modes like video, photo, portrait, square photo, panorama and manual. One downside here is in manual mode you can only control ISO and white balance. You do not have control over other several rather important parameters like exposure value, focus and even shutter speed. Taking a look at the Honor's camera app, this provides tons of mode to click variety of photos. Apart from normal and HDR photos and videos, you can also click light paintings. You can delay the shutter speed to keep it open for a longer time, which results into light trails like these. Unlike the MIUI camera application, the camera app on EMUI allows you to control the manual parameters not only for the photos but for videos as well. Things like exposure, focus and white balance can also be controlled or locked at your will. With all of these tons of options available, you can really do many things other than just clicking a photo or shoot a video. It looks creative and innovative. Might not be useful all the time, but it's good to know that you have all of these at your disposal. Now let's take a look at the samples. Please note that I have clicked all these photos in auto mode. Wherever I have used any special mode, then I will mention that on the screen's left top corner, so keep an eye for that. In good lighting conditions, both these cameras click some good images. Saturation on Note 5 Pro looks accurate in most of the occasions, but the photos from Honor 7X looks bit oversaturated. While saturation level could be subjective, in my opinion Note 5 Pro brings true color tones to the objects. The information in the shadows is also more on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Not only this, the dynamic color range and detailing is better on Note 5 Pro. Color range on Honor 7X looks limited, and in good lighting conditions the Note 5 Pro definitely has an upper hand. Let's move to the artificial and some low light photography. As the sun goes down, the Note 5 Pro starts shining. You can see in artificial lighting the Note 5 Pro produces some crisp images, whereas the photos from Honor 7X are less detailed. In order to fill light into the photos, Note 5 Pro does produce some noise, whereas in the case of Honor 7X, the noise is less and so as the details. Coming to the portrait photography, both these cameras are accurate in identifying the foreground and the background object. But by marginal difference, Note 5 Pro takes the lead here. You can see that on complex foreground subjects also, Note 5 Pro works really well. But due to natural color tones, the overall portrait looks better on Note 5 Pro. Let's take a look at the 1080p video sample from both these cameras. The videos are taken at 30 fps, but the Honor 7X lacks the stabilization, wherein the Note 5 Pro has an electronic stabilization. This is definitely showing its effect, resulting in more stabilized footage from the Note 5 Pro. Also, the colors and detailings are a bit better on the Note 5 Pro's footage. In low light videography, both these cameras are performing really well, but I found that the noise on Redmi Note 5 Pro is on the higher side. Moving to the selfie camera, the 20 megapixel sensor on Redmi Note 5 Pro and the 8 megapixel on 7X takes some good selfies. In good lighting conditions, the Note 5 Pro has a little bit of upper hand, but in artificial lighting conditions, both these phones click some good selfies. Portrait mode present on both these cameras do bring the bokeh and thus giving us crisp portraits. The selfie flash on Note 5 Pro is also one more advantage, which allows you to click photos in extreme low light situations or even in the dark. The screen flash on Honor 7X simply doesn't please me. So in selfie photos also, the Note 5 Pro takes the lead. Let's take a look at the video shot from the front facing camera of both these phones. While the Note 5 Pro is capable of shooting 1080p video, on Honor 7X the video capture is limited to 720p.
This is Honor 7X. I think the quality on Honor 7X tend to give some teal and orange effect, whereas the footage on Note 5 Pro looks a bit underexposed. I don't know why, maybe I'm in shadow. So I'm right now outside for a shoot. So no, I'll be switching the audios as well to let you guys know about the audio or the mic quality. The exposure adjustment on Redmi Note 5 Pro could have been a little better, because as you can see, Note 5 Pro tend to give good results, but as you can see, the footage on Note 5 Pro is not adjusting.
Without any doubt, Note 5 Pro shines here as well. The exposure adjustment seems to be an issue in Note 5 Pro, which I think Xiaomi should address with the next software update. This brings us to the end of our comparison. The Redmi Note 5 Pro did really well and better than Honor 7X in almost every department. Looking at their prices, the Honor 7X is priced at 1000 lesser than the Redmi Note 5 Pro for base as well as the top end variant. Spending 1000 rupees extra makes a lot of improvement in the photos and video quality. So in case you are balling into that price range, then I would highly recommend the Redmi Note 5 Pro over Honor 7X. In case you have decided to purchase any of these phones, there are links in the description. You can use them to help my channel without spending an extra penny. Like this video if it helped you, and feel free to share this video with your friends. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This has been Vinith. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.